first person who handed you this advice. Winners never quit, losers never win. Here's what Seth Godin has to say about that. That is a spectacularly better advice. Should you never have quit in your bed? Should you never have quit drinking your food? Should you never have quit trying to get the attention of the person who will never ever notice you? Most of the time, we will push ourselves to persevere. But what if quitting is an option? That says winners quit all the time. They just quit the right stuff at the right time. The story behind how I came across this concept is because I sent in a question to a youth mentor on Instagram Q&A, and he recommended me to pick up this book called The Dip by Seth Godin. The Dip explains about a basic truth that any skill worth getting good at has a dip in the middle. And this book is not exactly an answer to my question, but rather a guide of the necessary questions to ask myself in order to make a decision. Because right now I'm kind of trying to decide which degree to pursue. In order for me to do that, I need to pick out the right dip to persevere. So in order for us to do that, we need to first recognize what is the dip and what are the opportunities that are worth taking. So today I will enlighten you with a concept called the dip, a book that tells you when to quit and when to stay. So first, opportunity requires time, money, and energy. That's it. The only opportunity worth taking is the opportunity to become number one. And that is, if you're not planning to become number one, might as well quit right now. I know, tough logic to comprehend, but here's why. Being number one has endless benefits. Because when you become number one, you're the first thing that comes up on people's minds. For example, if I say, what is the best coffee in the world? You would say, Starbucks. Exactly. And let me just tell you, being number one is not as hard as it used to be. Because with the existence of Google, it provides specific solutions to specific problems, which then means that the mass market is dying. So let me give you an example. Rather than trying to become number one at becoming the number one author in the world, you can become the number one author in FPH bookstores, which is definitely possible. Now that we've recognized the opportunity, let us recognize the dip and how do we go through it. Okay, so the dip is a basic concept that tells you any skill worth getting good at has a dip in the middle. So in order for you to do that, you need to create a goal. Because when you go through a dip, it gets rough in the going. It is usually where you most likely give up because your development will slow down into a fall. So you need to create a goal. To create a scenario, you can try to become the number one author for children's fantasy books. And in order for you to do that, you need to publish a book. So when you publish a book, you send it in to the publisher, and then the first publisher rejects you. What do you do next? So you send it again, and then they reject it again. Then you send it again, and then you get rejected again. Okay, let's stop there. This is the second that comes along. Set up a limit to persist. Know how much time you're going to get back up and try to publish the book again. Because you need to know how many opportunities you need to go through before you get that last one that will help you achieve your goal. So you need to set up a limit of persistence, and you need to know who do you want to influence. Because in this case, you might want to influence a market full of publishers rather than just an individual publisher. Because if you influence a market of publishers, you might be able to get rejected 12 times, and the 13th time might be the charm. And the reason I'm telling you this is because one of the famous authors ever published a book got rejected 12 times before she got to publish her book. And that author is J.K. Rowling, the author of the most famous series for children's fantasy book, Harry Potter. Let us decide before entering the dip when you will quit. It's very important for you to be smart. Just like investors, create a stop limit to their purchase, and if this stop limit is met, they will definitely sell their stock and accept their losses. The reason behind is because they want to avoid putting too late in the game and they want to avoid exiting too quickly. Okay, let me present you another example. A marathoner, Dick Collins, once said that you need to decide before the race the circumstances that are going to force you to drop out. Because you don't want to be out there racing and then suddenly say, oh gee, my leg hurts. I'm a little dehydrated, I'm tired, and I'm sleepy. Evidently, just talk yourself into putting your effort. Because if you make a decision based on how you feel at the time, you will most likely make a decision that you will regret. Because that decision is probably going to be wrong. Now, what other questions should you ask yourself before you decide to quit? So the three important things again: money, time, and energy. You have to ask yourself, how much time are you going to spend on this? How much money are you willing to lose? And how much are you willing to go through? I think it's safe to say that when you follow this plan, quitting is not actually a bad idea. It could probably be the best idea you could ever make for yourself. Because quitting will allow you to free up time for things that are worth it. And quitting will allow you to spend your energy on things that are going to allow you to become the best. In order for you to become the best, you need to go through as many dips as possible, right? So, in a nutshell, is I can say that this book was written by Seth Godin within 2 weeks, and it became an instant bestseller because sometimes we need a reminder that we need to evaluate the dip that we're going through, and we need to find the courage to quit the things that are not going to help us to become the best. Seth Godin does not claim that he has the right answers, but he will definitely teach you how to ask the right questions. Thank you very much for listening.